Hey all, Eski here, bringing you a different type of video today. So I know I've been pretty MIA recently, haven't been doing a lot of Deadlock videos, and the reason for that is I haven't really been playing a lot of Deadlock. And I wanted to bring you this video today and tell you about why I'm concerned about Deadlock personally. I know a lot of other content creators have, put stuff out about the state of Deadlock right now, and I kind of wanted to give my thoughts as well. And so just to start off, I'm sure if you go to the Steam charts and you look at, SteamDB or something like that, you'll see the numbers are pretty far down. And there are people out there that says that, hey, that's not concerning. It's just an alpha, this and that. But personally, I think it's concerning. I think one of the biggest parts of a live service game is player retention and making sure you retain the player base that, tries your game to some degree. And I think if you look at Marvel Rivals, and I don't want to, do too much comparison there because they are different games, but Marvel Rivals has been retaining its players pretty well so far. So why do I think that, why am I concerned about Deadlock? So one of the big things I think the game needs is a little bit more casual friendliness. And what I mean by that is if you look at other types of MOBAs, they tend to have different modes, right? You have the main mode, which I would say is the current mode in Deadlock standard. But in other MOBAs, you have, in Dota, you have like a arcade or a turbo. Other MOBAs might have like a 3v3. So I really think you need to have alternative modes that are more geared toward casual players, because I think if you look across the gaming landscape right now, competitive games only succeed if they can maintain a decent sized casual player base, because those players are going to buy skins, they're going to watch esports tournaments. You need that player base to maintain a competitive live service game in this ecosystem, in my opinion. So I really think that, Deadlock needs to add some of that, at least one type of alternative mode that is more casual friendly. I don't think the current mode is super casual friendly, just based on anecdotes I've had from, people that I have had try the game, and just based on match length and other things. Like, there's a lot that goes into a Deadlock match when it comes to brain power and having to think about all these things. Another reason I think Deadlock is dropping off, and this is more of a reason for me personally as well, is that I think the games start to feel samey at some point. And what I mean by that is, once you reach a certain level of hours in Deadlock, I'm probably up to like 500 at this point, the games start to feel the same a lot of the time. And I think a big reason for that, of course, we're at a pause here while I'm doing this live video, but hey, whatever. One of the reasons I think that is happening is because Deadlock has such a small hero pool. And to me, if I'm telling Valve what I think the number one priority should be, it should be adding more heroes, because what that's going to give you is you're going to have games where there's a lot of different heroes. You're going to be facing different team comps. That's also going to allow you to do things like draft mode, which I think is important. It adds a lot of depth to the game. And so once you expand that hero pool size, you get a lot of other things that you can do with the game that will make it more interesting, make it varied, and I think bring people back. So I think that's another thing that Deadlock really suffers from right now, is the small hero pool size. I also have been hearing about, feeling it occasionally when I play Deadlock, and I know that the matchmaker has basically been pretty bad. And I think the matchmaker has been average at best for a long time now, based on anecdotal evidence from friends that I've had try the game, based on my experience. And to me, especially in a live service game like this, the matchmaker is probably a top 3 thing that has to be right for the game to succeed. And for whatever reason, the matchmaker in Deadlock just has not felt that good in a long time, in my opinion. I do think we're in kind of a catch-22 at this point, because when you have a low player base, the matchmaker struggles to find those games of similar skill level for you. So, Valve is kind of in between this rock and a hard place, where I'm sure they're trying to fix the matchmaker, and they've, obviously been putting effort into that based on the patch notes. But when the player base starts to decline and you only have a certain amount of players per region, it's going to be even harder for the matchmaker to find those fair and balanced games, especially in a 6v6. So I really don't know what to do about that, right? Like, I don't know that there is a way to fix that with such a low player base. And so kind of moving on to my last point here is, people have been talking about equipment and progression, those two tabs, that you see in Deadlock where, you can basically progress your hero mastery, I assume. And then, you have skins and stuff, and it's typical in a Valve game. I think those things are nice, but they're not silver bullets. And what I would say is the reason for that, in my opinion, is even if you look at right here, some of the people have Christmas skins in this game. And so they added Christmas skins, right? And there have been people, it seems, that have come back just to, unlock those Christmas skins, whether they're permanent or not, I have no idea. But if you actually look at the numbers, it really hasn't upticked much. And I don't think skins, I don't think character progression matters to a lot of people. They're nice to have, but they're not going to bring them back to the game. So I really think Valve has, in my opinion, basically one opportunity to explode the player base again and then potentially retain those players. And that's whenever they dub Deadlock as released. And the reason I use released in quotes is because I think all this alpha, beta, early access, release, all these things, they're just labels. It differs from company to company. It differs from game to game. The only time that this game is going to be released is when Valve says it's released. So I'm really hoping that Valve can fix some of the issues before release, because once it's released, I know a lot of my friends are going to come back and try it. I'm sure a lot of people will come back and try it. And if it's not in a good enough state, those people are going to bounce off. And I would imagine they'll probably just move on from Deadlock at that point. So I'm still optimistic about the game. I don't want this to be too doomer of a video. This is more about feedback and things that I personally think Valve should focus on. Whether or not they hear that, who knows, right? But just to give my opinion. So I still think Deadlock can succeed. I still love Deadlock for what it is. I think it does need a lot of improvement right now. And I just personally haven't been playing it because it hasn't been fun. And I'm just going to play what's fun, right? And I assume you guys are going to play what's fun too. So let's hope, Valve can turn Deadlock around, get some of these players motivated to come back, and then hopefully retain them. So at this point, if you've watched all the way through the video and listened to me talk, I appreciate it. I'm going to talk about the future of this channel right now. So if you're not interested in that, totally understand. Thank you guys for watching the video. So the future of this channel, right? I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately. I'm sure you guys have seen that, or maybe you don't even care. Totally fine too. I haven't been playing Deadlock, and I haven't really been enjoying Deadlock. So I don't feel it's right for me to, or I haven't really felt motivated to post videos, about Deadlock. So I haven't been. And, YouTube's, such a part-time side gig for me right now. I would love to make it, a potentially full-time thing in the future, but it's about finding the right niche and finding the right circumstance for me to, kind of blow up and become a YouTuber. And while that is kind of my goal, the overall goal for me is really enjoyment. I enjoy making videos. And if I don't enjoy making videos, I'm probably going to stop making videos unless it, becomes my income and I have to rely on it. That being said, I'm going to start making Marvel Rivals videos. I don't know if you guys have played that game or, seen it. It's been pretty big at this point, but I've been enjoying it a lot. Overwatch is one of the games that I've played a ton throughout my life. I mean, it's been out for a long time now, and I've always enjoyed hero shooters, and I really enjoy Marvel Rivals. It really brings me back to, when Overwatch was launched, really. It has that kind of feeling of, fun in the game. So I've been grinding a lot of Marvel Rivals. I'm going to start posting content about that. I'm not going to do it on this channel. I actually have an alternative channel I'll be posting that on. You can go to @EskiRivals if you're interested in that. I'm going to put the link down in the description below. So if you guys are interested in Marvel Rivals content, very similar to my Deadlock content, I'm going to start posting that. When will I come back to Deadlock? I don't really know, to be honest. I'm going to keep checking on the game, watching content creators that I like Deathy and some of the other guys that you're keeping people up to date, and just see where the game is at in a few months. And, if it looks fun, come back, try it out, and hopefully Valve has fixed some of these issues. So, yeah, I'm really hopeful that Deadlock can turn things around and, take the player base up and start retaining players again. But it's not happening right now. I'm hoping it happens in the future. So if this is it for us when it comes to Deadlock, I really enjoyed making these videos for you guys and enjoyed interacting with you. If you guys are still interested in interacting with me, pretty active on the Discord, feel free to join that. And yeah, if you like some Marvel Rivals, you're interested in some Marvel Rivals content, come check out my other channel at Esky Rivals, where it'll be down in the description below. So once again, thank you guys for watching this video. If you listened to me talk this whole time, I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.